What's up, everyone, and welcome to the very first 2016 episode 1 edition of Video is Vital. Us here at RCR Video Marketing Group, we're putting together kind of this whole video content thing that we want to put out and give to you guys. Did you hear my elbow just crack?
Yeah.
That was crazy.
It was.
But we're going to put all this content together, give it to you guys for free, absolute free. Just put it on social media of why video is so vital. It doesn't matter what your company is, what you do, your service, your product, doesn't matter. Video is essential, even more so now than ever. You know, one thing that bothered the hell out of me, no pun intended, was during like the Christmas time, there was this church video that I watched, and I understand that it's people and it's guys that, you know, they're just part of a team. They're just there trying to help out their service. And someone just got shot here locally in Atlanta, Georgia. But I understand that it's people that just really want, you know, they're trying to make videos because they understand that video is vital, so they're trying to make it for their church. However, some of them just are not good. I wouldn't go as far to saying they suck, but there's just certain things that you can do to make it better. So as I'm watching this video, I'm seeing some of their B-roll footage or like stuff they put in, the footage they put in over interviews and stuff like that, and it's these handheld shots with like a DSLR type camera that are all jittery and shaky, and it's so simple just to up your production value a little bit at very little cost. So what's perfect is I reached out to some of these guys and I said, what's some questions you got? Like their videos are going in the right direction. They've made strides over the last couple of years, but at the same time, they just do it because they need to out of necessity, not really because they're the experts. People to do it. So I asked these guys some questions, and the first question was,
what equipment do I really need?
So this played along perfect. I remember one specific shot that they had in this video. It was of a Christmas tree, and they kind of like pan and like tilt it down, and it was really shaky and jittery because if you're shooting with a DSLR type camera, when you do handheld stuff with that, it's really, really bad, shaky video. You don't do handheld with that. So to answer this question, what equipment do I really need, really is in all caps, I'd say tripod. I mean, you could go to Best Buy and invest in a tripod, or Walmart for 10, 20 bucks, and you'll get different heights. You can get a smooth tilt, a smooth enough tilt out of it, a smooth pan, and just take out the handheld stuff unless the handheld fits the story you're trying to tell. So during this specific video, it was all about Christmas and like the Christmas spirit. And that's a smooth, easy going. Like people want to relax by like a fire and drink freaking hot chocolate and stuff and whiskey or whatever by a fire. So like people want to relax. And when you throw in a shot of a Christmas tree that's all shaky, that's not relaxing. It doesn't fit with the story you're trying to tell. So like a simple tripod will smooth out that shot. On top of that, I would say you need a decent microphone. You can get like a Rode mic, RODE, it's a brand, for DSLR cameras, which I would assume most of you are using. Rode even makes microphones for your iPhone that you can get for when you're shooting video, or for like a lav mic like I'm wearing now. You could have it go to your iPhone and sync it up in post. So I would say a decent microphone. You could find one for less than $100. Less than 200, not that expensive at all. And there's certain other brands out there you could find too, but good audio. You have to have good audio in order to tell the story of your video. So I would say those are two pieces of equipment that you really absolutely need, is a tripod and a good microphone. All right, question 2.
How do I make smooth transitions without fading to black?
That's a really good question. A lot of people use fading to black as a crutch. They just fade in and out. Fade in and out, fade in, and it gets so repetitive and so annoying, and it honestly kind of puts your audience to sleep. So I would say one thing you can do is use your music that you choose to transition. You know, if the music is picking up or certain music beats, just use those beats to transition in your video. You can find free music on YouTube. YouTube has a ton of free music for you to download and put on your videos. I would say YouTube would probably be the easiest and best one because most people are posting videos on YouTube anyway. To download those songs, I mean, you get hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of songs you can go through to download and use music to transition your video. But lucky for you guys, I have my partner in crime here, Ray Wood, who is also a video editor and director and does all kinds of transitioning. So I'm gonna bring him in for this answer.
Well, I mean, you pretty much hit it on the head. Is music is gonna be really key, and I think just generally speaking, the tone of the piece should dictate how you do your transitions, and the music is gonna play into that a lot too, because you know, if it's a slow, somber piece, then maybe fading between shots, not necessarily fading to black, but fading between shots might be the answer. Or if it's a more energetic, fast-moving piece, then just simply cutting from shot to shot is going to be the answer. So really, it all depends on the mood and the style of the piece that you're putting together. But one thing that I don't like are cheesy transitions, like the sliding from side to side and all the stuff that comes with your typical video editing software. They have all these cheesy transitions, and they just reek, you know, to me and to us, they just reek of novice, amateur, and it's so simple to just do a fade, and that solves that problem for you right there. So that's what I would say. Just let the work tell you how to go from shot to shot, depending on what you're trying to convey to your audience.
There you go, guys. Brought in the expert for that one. This is a really good question that we got in.
What are some things I should be looking out for that comes second nature to you guys?
That's a really, really, really good question. I'm glad that we got asked that. Honestly, it kind of stumps me, but just because we've been doing this for so long that the things that come second nature are so second nature that it's hard to think of what those things are. My first thought would be focusing on the storytelling, because at the end of the day, even though it may be a simple 1 minute, minute and a half, whatever video, you're trying to tell a story. You're trying to convey a message. So you may get tied up in the equipment you need. You may get tied up in transitioning in the video editing process and all that. But at the end of the day, you're trying to convey a message. You're trying to tell a story, and never forget that. You have anything on that?
I mean, not necessarily. I mean, I think there are a lot of things that we just do it so much that come to us naturally that we think about that a lot of people don't think about. I mean, for instance, the tripod and the audio thing, like you said earlier, a lot of people don't just jump to that, to where we know that the lights that it takes to make a scene look good, or the way to get the right audio, and it's just looking into those things and at least getting a grasp on how that's done is something that probably just seems like, you know, we could do it in our sleep because we do it so much, but people who aren't used to that, that's the kind of stuff that probably, you know, would come a little more difficult, you know, if they don't know how to do it.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's good. I mean, that leads me to say that, you know, it kind of goes along with the questions with video transitioning and stuff like that. Like, what comes second nature to us and what makes us kind of naturally gifted in this video world is knowing when to cut, and knowing like timing and spacing and how long to hang on a shot and stuff like that. So just really pay attention. Like, when you get done with a cut of a video, I would really recommend showing it to your significant other, showing it to like a best friend or something before you put the final product out, and say like, look, give me your honest thoughts. Tell me, and we do this all the time, especially like coming up. Like, we have a team of 3 or 4 people here that if Ray gets done editing a video, then we all watch it and we all critique it with you know, honest opinions and feedback on that, and that's going to help you more than showing it to your best friend and then being like, dude, that was awesome, blah, blah, blah. But really in the back of their mind, they're like, that freaking sucked. That was terrible. Like, why are you doing this? So I would say, like, literally beg and ask for honest opinions. And that brings me to like really don't hang on a shot. Like the Christmas tree shot that I was saying earlier, the shot just lasted for like, it felt like 25, 30, 45 seconds of this entire 2 or 3 minute video. And if you feel like, man, this shot goes on for forever, cut it short. If you feel like this shot doesn't drive the overall message forward, cut the shot out of the video. And to be honest, you may think, oh, man, I'm cutting all my content out. Well, is it really quality content? Does it really drive the story forward, drive the message forward? Or is it just a shot that you shot that you think is cool that needs to be in there? Because like, I'm gonna call you on your bullshit. If you're sitting there like, oh, this is an awesome shot, man. This looks great. I got to add it in here. But it doesn't convey the message, or it has nothing to do with the story or the message you're trying to convey, cut it. You don't need it. The audience doesn't want to see it because it's not going to make sense. It's going to throw them off. No matter how cool you think it is, cut the shot. And like, you're never going to hurt yourself by making your video shorter, in my opinion. Which I think is true, right?
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
I would say that. So like, you're not gonna hurt yourself by taking a 10-second shot and cutting it down to 5, as long as within that 5 seconds, the shot still feels the same, right? Like, so for instance, the Christmas tree shot, like I'm sitting there watching it and it just goes on forever. Not to mention it wasn't that pleasant of a shot to watch. It was shaky and jittery, and like, it just was a shot. So like, you're not gonna hurt yourself by taking that type of shot and cutting it down tremendously. I mean, you could have taken that 25, 30-second shot and cut it down to 5 seconds, and you still get the idea that it's a Christmas tree and Christmas time. And let me tell you, your audience doesn't want to see a video that's longer than it absolutely has to be. Not longer than it needs to be, or not longer than you think it to be. An audience subconsciously knows that this video is too long, this shot is too long. Like, they get uncomfortable in their seats. So I would say that's stuff that comes second nature to us that you really need to look out for. And don't get tied up in the equipment, don't get tied up in the transitions and all that. But like, really, at the end of the day, focus on conveying the message and telling the story to the point where your audience isn't gonna fall asleep in it. They're not gonna think that it's a shit video, and that you really feel as if you conveyed the message you wanted to convey. So thanks for ruining my closing, man, by kicking the table.
Ooh.
So thanks for being a part of episode 1 in 2016, New Year. Happy New Year. We hope it's a great, prosperous year for you. Thanks for listening, and we hope you take this information and use it to your advantage, or don't. Whatever you do, it's kind of up to you. All right, next time on Video is Vital. Peace.